Good day and welcome to a new video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe! Heyo and welcome today. Today you're joined by me, Daniel, and we are doing a 90-minute art challenge here. So you see me, I'll be painting this. It's twice as fast for this painting because I use my videos are usually at 40 minutes-ish, and I don't want to blabber on for an hour and a half for these videos. Do the painting in an hour and a half, but I do speed it up twice as fast. Um, yeah, so it's kind of, you do kind of get to know my speed of painting, I guess, and my speed of drawing and everything like that a little bit. It's twice as fast, so if you want to like slow down the video and actually watch it in real time, you can do that. Usually, my paintings that I have on this channel, most of them are sped at least 2 or 3 times more, up to 10 times more faster. So it all depends. It depends on the length of the videos, how many kind of parts I have to each video, and all those things that go on in each painting that I do create. Now, for this one was quite interesting, this 90-minute art challenge. It's the first kind of official 90-minute art challenge from the actual hashtag 90-minute art challenge Tumblr website. The images from there, the drawings that you can, the images that you can paint in those 90-minute art challenges. Now mine is hashtag 52, challenge 52, I think it's challenge 52, that you can see there. So, it's quite deep into it. It's not, it didn't start doing kind of 90-minute hashtag 1 or anything like that. I didn't start there. I just kind of picked one that was relatively newish and something that was interesting for me to do. Still challenging and not, I guess some of them were like, oh, that's a bit too challenging, I guess. Just because like some of them involve a lot of kind of environment and those kind of things, and this had a creature, an animal in it, so I was like, yeah, I'll grab this one. Um, but they all have their challenges, all these paintings and 90-minute images that they do find. I don't think any of them, are easy. Um, some might be easier than others because they are kind of in your comfort zone. And that's kind of where me choosing this image comes in. It's a little bit, might be kind of a little bit on my comfort zone because it involves an animal. Um, but it's a little bit out of my comfort zone because it involves a lot of things I'm not used to painting. For instance, kind of a blurry kind of background. Uh, some of the background is in front of the creature. Also, it's blur that is blurry. The stuff at the front's blurry. Um, so there's quite a bit going on that I found challenging in this image. So, but it was a fun image for me to create and paint. It's, you know, with the 90-minute art challenges, it's always interesting. I've done kind of, I think I've done 4 now. So I did a Christmas one. I'm pretty sure that's when I started a Christmas one. I did, basically for the Christmas one, I drawed a 90-minute challenge. I found a Christmas image and painted that. And then again, I painted it in my own kind of take. I did the painting and kind of painted it again, but added and took away what I wanted to add and take away. So added in, some of the creatures were holding things and a little bit of differences within the actual image itself. Anyway, then the next one I did after that was the New Year's stream 90-minute art challenge that I did. And that was just me doing a kind of where I'm from, Palmerston North themed um, kind of theme New Year's kind of painting from there. So it was an image that I found online. And then, yeah, so it's kind of three. So this is my fourth in a way. Yeah, my fourth kind of 90-minute art challenge. And this is kind of an official one. In a way, an official. Oh, I did another one before then. I did an official one before then, which was a painting where you drew something in your style. So did that after the New Year's stream. I did also the 90-minute draw this in your style challenge thing. That they had on the 90-minute art challenge. You can find it. It's an interesting image. It was a kind of, I think a VR image that someone created, and we got to paint it in our own style. And that was the challenge basically within 90 minutes. So that's what I did for that one. I found that one, and a few weeks later I did that one. And then after that I did draw this again challenge for 90 minutes. So 90-minute draw this again challenge. And that was a whole fact that I wanted to do a draw this again challenge. I've seen it done. I've been looking at it for, quite a few projects and things like that. And I've seen lots of other artists do it, drawing their old works and uh, yeah, just redrawing something, years later, or yeah, or sometimes it might be just draw this again, when they're a little bit better, or yeah, or draw this again fully. Sometimes you might have a old drawing or something, and now you're fully rendering it, fully painting the actual drawing that you created. Um, but yeah, I did that one. And then, yeah, this is the next one, the next 90-minute art challenge. I'm pretty sure that's all in order, and that's all the 90-minute art challenges to this date. I haven't done many, I've done a few. And yeah, I hope to do more, because they are fun, they are interesting, they do kind of test your limits. They do keep kind of your arts in check in a way. They do grow your skills. They get you out of your comfort zone sometimes, depending on what you do. If you're only do kind of the 90-minute art challenges that are only in your comfort zone, you won't grow as much as doing all in every challenge that does come. Um, and the same with, doing any other challenges that are out there, like Inktober and Art Session has a lot of challenges. And also, like, there's this website called dada.com, I think. And it's this big website where you kind of draw and paint like words every day. They give a certain theme and you have to paint that on their website every day. It was interesting. I used it for a little bit and I gave up, but a lot of people um, do use it and have lots of fun. It wasn't my thing. I mean, it was a bit of fun to do that drawing, but I did get busy doing a lot of other things, so I kept doing that, um, rather than spend time doing those data challenges. But they are good. They definitely are good to grow. So if you find your way into a community like that and just growing and creating stuff like that, there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I definitely needed to work on my projects and get those underway. Yeah. So you can see me here just slowly kind of developing um, the painting. And for me, I think when I started out, I just wanted to get kind of everything slowly there. And that's what I was trying to do, is just slowly get everything there. So, kind of at the end, I had something to show in a way. I didn't have just kind of a fully kind of rendered finished dog or whatever, and that's all I had to show um, for this 90 minutes. However, that's I feel like it could have worked a little bit against me because it didn't work um, too closely enough on this. I think it's a hyena, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure it's a hyena. Um, as well, I was gonna call this YouTube video 90-minute hyena drawing as well. I might actually do that. Um, but I wasn't 100% sure. I'm pretty sure this is hyena. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I will call it hyena video if it does, because it actually is kind of my second official, thinking about it. I thought it was my first official, but it isn't. And the first official one was draw this in your style one that I did. And that's another one where it was something that I've kind of wanted to do for quite a little while, and I've seen other artists do it, draw it in your style kind of a thing. Um, so I thought, why not give it a go? I'm not kind of too worried about quote unquote drawing it in my style. I was more worried about trying to represent it and kind of draw that and paint that thing that I was creating at the time. But yeah, drawing it in your style is an interesting kind of challenge to do, because it does kind of show what you do, how you interpret things, how you paint a certain subject, or what you're creating. Um, and it shows you what you kind of think your style is sometimes. Um, and yeah, it surprises you sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, but with this challenge, I was working, you can see me, I'm working on the dog a little bit more. But it was pretty much at the start, I was just jotting it all down. Then I was kind of, fixing up those notes that I took, taking notes at first, where everything lies, um, understanding a little bit about where things are, his legs, his width of his body, where his head is, his head proportions, all these things I'm jotting down, as well as where the leaves are, um, where the background kind of lies, and some trees and some other things that are around in that area. Yeah, I'm just understanding all of that at first, taking notes about that whole thing of where he is and what's happening. Um, and then from there, I'm fixing up those notes a little bit, and I'm trying to um, make something from it a little bit better. And from here, I slowly adapt color into it. I feel like I could have kind of done more notes and more studying of this piece a little bit further into, the tonals and how to work those tonals a little bit. But it's kind of like with 90 minutes is you don't want to spend all that time doing that because you just want to kind of get a pretty picture in the end out of it. In a way, it can be like that. For me, anyway. Um, I don't know if anyone out there, does 90-minute art challenges, what they think about it, if they do, if it gets to that point of, yeah, I want to create this pretty picture, yeah. That, they just get into color too soon. Um, Sometimes without fully kind of understanding what's going on in the scene you're painting, you're creating. Just delve on into it. It's a little like that sometimes. But as I go, I'm trying to figure things out. Um, Really slowly just adding in the patches of color, um, uh, where dark tones are, where light tones are as I go. And just, yeah, kind of fixing it as I go. And it was very challenging doing that, slowly kind of fix up his fur, trying to quickly get it done too. I didn't want to get to the end and kind of his ear or his face might be perfect, but everything else wasn't too shabby or, not that great. Um, but for me, with the end result that I looked at, I felt like um, I only just touched base with kind of a lot of things. Everything was just kind of slightly there, not enough, not finished enough at all. But it was a challenging thing to paint. Um, and maybe I could repaint this again for a 90-minute art challenge, but I'll probably move on to another 90-minute art challenge. Um, I could, yeah, give it another repaint if I wanted. Um, but yeah, I'm not too sure. You guys might not want to see, or might not be too interested in seeing this painted again for 90 minutes. You're painting that again and again. Um, you know, it, yeah, and as well as um. I spent some time understanding this drawing. I spent 90 minutes understanding this image here and what's going on. So I have, I definitely think I've taken something out of this experience from painting it, from drawing it. Um, that, doing it again, I don't think I'd have, um, you know, as much experience from it, I guess. A much new kind of things to learn from. There is obviously if you paint something over and over again, there always is something you missed or some way of going about it you've missed, and it's great to do that to draw something um, kind of over and over again and paint it a few times and we did that. I did that course where um, we would start off drawing something like might be a scene of fruit or something like that. I think, we did that as one of our art drawing um, exercises, drawing fruit, arrangement of fruit and things. And then, we would start off just drawing kind of the contours, and um, then, we'd draw that kind of a few times and get the contours right. And then we would draw it again, and this time we would shade it, fully shade it. I think there was a few steps before. There was like gesturing, a couple of things we did, quick drawing. So draw it within 5 minutes, draw it within 10, draw it within half an hour. Then, do a full drawing, and then do a full drawing that's rendered um, with just pencil. And then from there, we would go and do a drawing again, but this time render it and then render it with color. And there was a few of that rendered with color. Then you could do um, rendered with on black paper with color. So, pretty much starting out with color um, straight away, rather than doing drawing first. You'd be doing the drawing with color pencil, and you could do that with chalk as well, white on black, you know. So there was a few options there at the end that you could do, but that was always good, and you learnt quite a bit from drawing over and over again and learning and shading, and then kind of doing the process, but doing it, do the process one time, do it again, add some more, do it again, add some more, and then do it again, add a little bit more. And that way, you kind of learn everything and then learn everything again, and add to what you're learning and really enforce it. So, doing this again could be really helpful as well. And I've heard, Bobby Chio, um, who kind of helped create the 90-minute art challenge. Pretty sure he's the one that created it, as far as I know. Um, I've heard I don't know if he still does it, but I was listening to some of his podcasts when he was first kind of doing these 90-minute art challenges, and he was talking about how he did kind of draw it over and over again a few times, and then did kind of his 90-minute art challenge of it. Studied it quite a bit, and then did a 90-minute art challenge of it, which was quite interesting. So one day, at the moment, it's very challenging to fit in this 90-minute art challenge. Um, to my busy schedule, fitting this in was because I was making a video for this weekend, basically, for my YouTube channel. And also, it's fun to do these 9-minute art challenges, gives me something else to do during the week. But it does take away basically a whole night's worth, because it's an hour and a half, and that's, a night's work for me, pretty much. So it takes away from that, unfortunately. So it does cut into my working schedule in a way, but it does add to it, because it means that, I've got another week to work on the painting I'm working on now. It gives me another week to keep working on that, get it ready for YouTube and everything like that, so I can talk over it and all those things. So it does add as well. So that's always a thing I do enjoy. But yeah, doing it again would be challenging, because yeah, it's possible, I didn't mind doing it again. Um, because for me, I feel like it is a little bit of a fail. This challenge that I've done, just a slight, fail. Um, for me, But that's kind of good, you know. I feel like if you kind of do a challenge in a way, or any kind of challenge, and you don't break a sweat, it's dead easy, and you know you quote unquote pass it, or um, you just do really good, or excel, then you know that usually um, doesn't really help you grow too much. Um, it's great. It's great because I do the challenge, and you learn things from it. Um, but you know, versus a painting that's very challenging and you completely fail it, um, you know, that versus something you completely get right. You're gonna learn a lot more from something you've completely failed, and then from there, from the failure, fail, you can learn a lot more than you would if you completely achieve it and make it look real amazing, and you're just doing what you do usually. So yeah, getting out your comfort zone and doing something interesting and completely failing at it, um, it can really show you something different and new, and um, completely failing it is making me think, okay, well, um, looking at the image, what did I completely fail at, and how could I fix it up? There is an interesting challenge thingy that I could do um, in a video, and I might actually do it at some point. Where I actually fix up one of my 90-minute art challenges. Because, yeah, I could do that. It's possible for me to do that, where, take this painting that I've done here and fix it up. Um, yeah. And also, with these 90-minute art challenges things, um, it's up to you, really, how kind of dedicated you are to it, whether you actually are, oh, I have to do it within 90 minutes and that's it. I did this within 90 minutes. One mainly because, that's kind of all the time I have in one night to paint this thing. I don't want to dedicate like 2 or 3 nights because that would really, busy up my schedule further down the track. Well, at the moment it would. And I would also probably get to a point where I was just kind of working and working and working it. So an hour and a half is kind of a good point to be like, yep, it's been an hour and a half, it's finished. No matter how bad it looks, that's all I've got time for, you know. It gives me that kind of point, and I do enjoy that where it's like, oh, you've only got 90 minutes to do it. You do it within 90 minutes and it's finished. It's a decent enough time. It's not like 5 or 10 minutes where you don't have enough time to do much. Um, but you want to achieve everything. But it's not so long that you're kind of working on you're not working on mute every little piece of detail that's on this image here and trying to make it um, the best you can. It's enough time that you take um, what you need from it. But, if you want to kind of do it and give yourself maybe an extra hour or extra couple of hours, make it a day challenge if you want. You've got the whole day to paint this thing, to create this painting. From when you wake up to when you go to bed, maybe. that could be your challenge. That you got a whole day to paint this thing, you know. You could do that if you like, you know, that could be useful for you. So you know, you can do it in your 90 minutes that you say, but you could um, give yourself a whole day to do it maybe. And it's good to kind of play around with that. You know, um, some days are good to, you know, just kind of doodle and draw and have fun. And other days you might actually, you know, just spend a whole day just studying one painting that you're doing, and do that and just study it for a whole day. You know, try and make it the best you can. Sometimes it's really good to kind of do that, to get your skill up and to try and, uh, you know, get the most out of it. But sometimes it can be very frustrating to do that too because you know, you want to take breaks from it, you want to kind of do other stuff. Sometimes, you know, some of us, not everyone can focus on one drawing, doing one kind of painting at a time, kind of a thing. Some of us can, you know, I can definitely paint a certain thing for a decent period of time. I mean, I can sit there and draw daffodils all day, you know. You know, I can draw things all day. But drawing the same image, you know, for the whole day, you know, that you know, it's fun, you know, but there is a point where it's like, yeah, I'm over it, and the hour and a half is a good point for that. Um, but you know, yeah, stay true to what you want to do. If you want to spend the whole day creating this image, and you feel like that will, you'll get more out of it, go for it, you know, if you've got the time, just go for it. You probably would get more out of it than just kind of doing these 90-minute art challenges. But for the point of the 90-minute art challenges, it's basically, you know, it's only an hour and a half, and not everyone has an hour and a half. You know, some people, a lot of people do. I mean, these days with like the pandemic and being at home and those kind of things, a lot of people do have 90 minutes to sacrifice in their day. If you're a growing artist, maybe you could have an hour and a half dedicated to growing and painting, and this is a good way to do it. To do a 90-minute art challenge is where you are, um, you know, painting for an hour and a half, doing this kind of challenge, and that's where it kind of started. This whole thing that Bobby Chow was saying, where it started, you know, that you know, looking at kind of everyone could have an hour and a half to do this challenge, and that's what makes it kind of easier to do. It's easier to for you to be like, I'm doing this challenge that's got to take me an hour and a half to do, and I'm going to do this painting for an hour and a half. It's easier to do that than it is to be like, I'm going to paint this, and I'm going to get this painting finished today. You know, it's easier to do the hour and a half painting than it is to be like, I'm going to spend this whole day painting this thing. Um, you know, I feel like it is, you know, kind of easier to do it that way. Um, because, you know, for me, I feel like if I do it, be like, I've got the whole day to paint this thing. Um, I'll probably, you know, move it on to the next day and be like, I still haven't, you know, figured this drawing out, this painting, the tones are off here, you know, there's still things that I've got to fix up. Where, yes, doing these challenges does give that little point. Um, yeah. And I've done a few challenges in my time, not just 90 minutes. I've done the ArtStation challenges, and with those, I had about 2 or 3 months, I think. with 2 months, less than 2 months. I think I actually had a month for each challenge I did. You had about a month to do each challenge that you did. Um, with some of those, it was a side thing I was doing. So, I wasn't dedicating a lot of time, only a little bit of time to do the challenges. Um, but yeah, if with some of them, I feel like if I dipped in full time for those challenges, I might have gotten a lot more out of them. Um, but yeah, they were interesting and fun to do, and I did learn from them. They were against kind of what I like to create, against what they call um, my comfort zone. Which, yeah, big thing, a big learning. I still feel like with those challenges, I kind of did the best I could at the time. Um, but there's a lot more I could have offered for those, I think. It's just because, yeah, I did have other things going on, and I was trying to figure other things out, and I was learning schoolism stuff as well, and I had a lot going on here. So, um, but if I did kind of just focus on that thing, I feel like I could have got more out of it. um, but it is what it is. But looking at this challenge, I can see not too bad. But I still feel like I can fix it up completely. um, yeah. I might have to look at doing that maybe at some point. Maybe do a paint over of a 90-minute art challenge that I've done. Um, a video about me failing it and then just painting over it. Maybe repainting it. Repainting a 90-minute art challenge maybe. That'd be fun. Um, yeah, but this was a lot of fun to do. A lot of fun to create. So, yeah, I ended up with what I ended up with. So, yeah, that's the thing. I only have like 90 minutes to create this challenge, or actually paint this thing, and that's always definitely a challenging thing to draw something, within 15 minutes. I've done that before where I draw something within 5 or 10 minutes. Then you rush around everywhere trying to do something, but for me, in those art classes where I did have to, um, do those, quick gestural drawing things. At the start, I kind of only dealt with so much, within 5 minutes, I only did like focus on the head or something like that, or the arm or the leg, and then that, 5 minutes was up, and I've only done like half a leg or something like that. Um, so it was a challenging point where I could have quickly jotted it down and not been so focused in on trying to get something accurate, accurate. Just kind of focused in, yeah, on the whole picture as a whole. And it's always a challenging thing too. Is painting this thing as a whole. I feel like I was doing that a little bit more. I was like building this whole painting up as a whole, as much as I could. And then once I had built it up to a certain point, you can see I'm just focusing now on building up that hyena, um, here, that dog, this wild dog. So you can see there, I kind of build it up. However, I think with the background, there's a bit going on, but it's kind of because it was blurry and things like that, I didn't want to put it into focus. So it was a challenging thing to paint onto it, but still make it seem blurry. And that's always a challenging thing. I didn't want to kind of rely on effects and things like that. I wanted to kind of paint it, um, painted it rather than trying to rely on an effect to do it. And sometimes I have in the past used effects for that kind of thing. If I am, painting this kind of image that's got blurry things going on, I would usually use kind of that blurry effectness to it. So painting it, I haven't really done much before. So trying to achieve that was very interesting, and I'm still kind of learning on that thing of trying to draw and paint that blurriness. It's always challenging to do that. For me, anyway, in blurriness and kind of making things seem like they're in front and behind and in a distance, that's always challenging, always has been challenging for me. I'm learning things all the time about it. Certain things I'll learn in the past, like, the darker tones is pushing towards you, usually, and lighter towards the background, and those kind of things. Yeah, I feel like that could have helped a little bit of pushing, um, maybe those leaves that are in the front could have pushed them a little bit darker. Um, but that's a saying, within a certain time period or something like that, that's not too long. These things don't come as easy, when you got all day to work on it and think about it and process it and edit it and figure things out. You don't always think of these things as well. You know, over time you can. If you do this over and over again, and or do all 52 that there are, there's like maybe 60 or 70 art challenges, 90-minute art challenges now. I think there's like 60 or 70, 60 something they're up to, I think. Um, if you do all 60, you'd definitely be more than capable of, making those quick fire decisions and all that stuff. Um, but for me, I don't feel I've done enough of them to have all those quick fire decisions and things like that. But yeah, like I say, when you have all day to think about it, you think of these things and um, yeah, not as much time. You can, get to a point where you do try to fix up solutions the best you can. Um, yeah. I feel still I did an okay job. I did the best I can. But I still feel like, yeah, I definitely have a long kind of way to go till to kind of learn to paint something like this. Um, you know, within 90 minutes, I feel like I could have really delved in and painted this thing within a couple of days or so. That's pretty accurate. But also, I wasn't exactly aiming for 100% accuracy. I was just trying to depict this thing the best I can. And I think that's a good thing about 90-minute art challenges or short drawing things that you do, is that you don't, um, like I said, focus in on one thing, um, and also try and get everything accurate, um, to its fullest core, you really have to think about it and make every stroke count, or every minute count for the painting. Um, and that's what's good about it. You try and make every minute that you're painting it count the best you can. If you're changing a tone, fixing up um, a background, or fixing up this, or adding dark tones, um, you make every moment count that you do. And I feel that I'm looking here is probably a bit of tonal for the background per se. I did the best I could. I think the hyena is definitely pretty good, and the background is pretty shoddy. um, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. I still, as I said, you can see I got a bit to go if I was to try and paint it in like a real painting or something. But yeah, thanks for joining me. Hopefully you guys, do these 90-minute art challenges. Even if it's just one of them, it's really great to do, and I would recommend doing them over and over again a few times. Whether you do one over again, or you do heaps, you do one a week, one a day, or whatever. Um, I recommend doing them as kind of a warm-up thing, or just as a learning thing every so often, because they are good. Even if you pick your own topics and paint that for 90 minutes, it's good to do that. It's good to do some study, keeps you on your toes, and keeps you learning new things. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Thanks for joining me. If you did, keep drawing everyone, keep creating, and see you in the next video.